All right, good day, guys. Welcome to another video. Um, so the last time we talked about liquidity, we discussed a lot in terms of what liquidity is, the types of liquidity, and all of that stuff. The relevance of liquidity, even in PDREs and all. All right. So going forward in this video, I'm going to be talking a bit more about liquidity. Okay. Now, in the last class, we distinguished liquidity into two major types. We said liquidity exists as either internal range liquidity or external range liquidity. And depending on which it plays a role in terms of like its relation to how price delivers. Okay. Or we mentioned internal range liquidity is more related to price expanding and continuing compared to external, which can lead to reversal as well as retracements. So that's just like a brief recap of what we discussed in the last video. So today I'm going to be going a bit further to discuss more of the forms of liquidity, right? More in terms of the forms of liquidity, different forms in which LQ can kind of like exist. I want this to be black. Okay, so let's talk a bit more of the forms of LQ. So last class we said liquidity exists at highs and lows. Then we tried to get a bit more specific than that by discussing internal and external range liquidity as the major types of liquidity. But there are also different forms in which we can expect liquidity as well to exist. For this, internal and external range liquidity can also exist in a large array of forms. Okay, and we're going to be looking at that. So the different forms of liquidity we can have when it comes to price is price liquidity resting at major daily, weekly, monthly levels. That's one of the simplest forms of LQ. Liquidity resting at key daily, weekly, monthly levels. Even sessional liquidity is also a very, very important form of LQ. And let's just be listing them out. So you have your previous day's high or low. You have your previous week's high or low. You have your previous month's high, low, and you have session highs or session lows. So you can find liquidity resting at these levels, right? Liquidity exists as these forms at this liquidity exists in various forms at these levels. I think I'll add one more to this. This is just the generic old high, old low logic, right? And if you have a very old high, a very low, old low, and the idea is there's a lot of liquidity resting at that level, and you can get what's reactions once price starts to read those levels. So that's the relevance of these areas. At certain previous days high, previous days low levels, previous week high, previous week low levels, you'd see reversals, right? Or sort of retracements when price starts to read these levels. So you'd see a sort of reversal or retracement once price starts to raise this previous day's high, previous week high, low, previous month high, low levels, right? You can capitalize on them, right? To take trades depending on where price is, kind of like going to. And they're also very, very useful forms of liquidity when it comes to day trading, especially in terms of like previous day, previous week's high and low, right? Levels, very, very key, as well as session highs and lows, very, very key when it comes to like day trading. So they can help you in like framing different trade ideas to kind of like take trades depending on what direction price is heading. So this is going to be like a very, very short video. Then I'm going to leave you guys to go and study what price does at this level. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just show you, give you a glimpse of what this looks like on the price charts. Or I'm just going to start from here. on this particular week or in this particular time and price, we can see what price did. This was Friday's low. Price came all the way down here to read this level on Tuesday. Right, so you can see how price reads this level, right? It drops down, reverses a bit from it, then drops down during New York. So we also have a read of what session liquidity here. Or we can say session low. Okay, so we have a read of the session low here as well as the previous week's low. So after that, what do we start to see? Reversal away from all of that and price continuing to drop. So I'm just going to keep showing you very easy to spot examples. Right here again, we have that happen. The New York session reads the low of London, and we get a reversal away from that. Here we can see what price reads the previous day's high, and we get a reversal away from that level. We have here where price reads the previous session, and we have like reverses away from it. In the same vein, we have this read of previous day's high, and we see price move to the downside. So there's various examples like that. I'm going to leave it with you guys to go and study what price does at these areas, right? And see how you can kind of like implement it to see on trading. We had a read of this low first, price reverse, we read the highs, and we'll drop to the downside. So I'm just going to stop here for now. This was meant to be a very, very short video for you to go and study and look for various examples of price doing this. So I'll see you on the next one. Good luck, good trading, peace.